All right, this is Christian with Dark Portents, and today I'm going to be shooting two videos. First one that you'll see is this one, the February recap and March to be read. A lot of the books I read in February I don't have physical copies of, so I'll be putting the images around me in the editing process and you'll see them. The first book that I read in February, I believe, was the first half of the first volume, so book one of the Radiance Revelations, which come out in 2-book volumes. I started in on book 2, but I haven't finished it yet. But I did wrap up book 1 before I moved on to read the first book in the first volume of The Lord of the Rings with the Legendarium Podcast. And we've now gone through, and in February we read all of Fellowship of the Ring, and we'll be doing book 3 and book 4, or the Two Towers, in March. In February, I also finished reading with my wife through audiobook and reading aloud Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. We're making our way through the Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere. So after we finished that, before we moved on, we read The Emperor's Soul out of the Arcanum Unbounded by Brandon Sanderson. And now we have begun, and we'll surely not finish in March, and it will just be standing on our TBR until we finish this massive volume. We are now reading Words of Radiance. It's about my third or fourth time through the book. It's my wife's first time through the book. Our goal is to finish the Stormlight Archive, including Warbreaker, which acts as a kind of prequel for the Stormlight Archive, by the time book 4 comes out in November. Hopefully I'll be able to go to the Utah premiere and see all the Legendarium folks and Drew McCaffrey from Inking Out Loud and Brandon Sanderson and all that, but we'll see. Having newborns isn't easy to afford things. I'll also be reading in March Joe Abercrombie's Best Served Cold. I'd also been reading in February, I finished reading The Last Argument of Kings as part of the Merphy Napier buddy read-along in her Discord server. I had started the reread after I finished book 7 of Joe Abercrombie's First Law series, A Little Hatred, which is the first book in his new Age of Madness trilogy, and that book was so good I wanted to restart the series, and I started reading First Law Trilogy, the Blade itself, at night when I was going to sleep. And it was a very slow reread process because I wasn't rushing it and I just wanted to be in that world, as often happens when you finish the latest book in a series, if you're a nerd like me. And then I heard about the Merphy Napier buddy read-along in Discord, so I decided to go ahead and read along with that Discord server, which was a cool experience. Got to meet other people that are into Abercrombie outside of the Legendarium Podcast Discord server. So that was fun. And so I finished Last Argument of Kings, and I'll be doing a First Law Trilogy video probably today, if not very soon. Also reading We Are the Dead by Mike Shackle, which is I believe it's a debut novel about a country that is invaded and occupied, and 6 months later how the resistance develops against the occupying force. It's a really cool read, some nice grim dark fiction. It was recommended by Peter McLean. After I read his War for the Rose Throne, I started on it. I hadn't been rushing it until now. I'm almost done with it. I'm going to review it for the channel. I also wanted to work in a short story in between some of these longer novels that I'm reviewing for the channel. So I'll be reading The Builders by Daniel Polansky in March. I'm also going to be reading The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. I believe the series is called The Poppy War. It's the second book in that series. That was recommended to me through following Daniel Greene's channel, and he interviewed the author, and those are some great videos and great interviews, and if you haven't already watched them, you should check them out. So I'll probably talk about that on the channel a little bit too. I think that's about it for my March TBR. I don't think I can handle more because I've been busy with work and with the kids. And it's been hard without a green screen and without a bookcase to figure out where and when I'm going to shoot, especially with the baby. So I think that's about as much as I can handle right now is Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie, We Are the Dead by Mike Shackle, The Builders by Daniel Polansky, Reading the Two Towers by J.R.R. Tolkien along with the Legendarium Podcast. And I probably won't do a video review of The Lord of the Rings, at least not yet. And then also the Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. That's probably all I can handle for the month of March. Thanks for watching, and stick around and check out the review of the first Law trilogy that'll be coming out soon.